Testing 1 2 1 2. Can everybody hear me? Whew, how's the audio for you guys? On my end, it says it's really loud for you guys. Just waiting for some feedback to make sure that everybody can hear me. Bars say that you guys can. Yep. Hi, yes we can. Good, good. Yep, it's clear. Okay, well then we can officially get started. Hey, hello, how do you do? Shady Doorags here, and welcome to this stream. Greetings, all greetings. So basically what happened was the Boomhauer video was supposed to come out today. It was absolutely supposed to come out today. But I didn't get the script done until like later in the week than I normally do. And so when I went to go record, I was like, okay, I got to record today or this isn't happening. And I went to go record, but my throat was not feeling it. Like, I want to say it usually takes me about an hour to record a script. About 15 to 20 minutes in, I was starting to feel it, which is happening a lot more to me as I record scripts. Like my throat just keeps giving out on me during my scripts, but usually I could push through it. But this next script that's coming up has a lot of yelling. So with that and my throat like not being as good as it used to be, I couldn't get the recording done. And without the recording, like I don't like working on the video until all of the recording is done. I've still got 2 more pages I've got to record of the Boomhauer video, so that should be out by next week. Usually once a script is done and recorded, a video flows. It takes me about 2 to 3 days to edit it all together. But my voice is feeling better now, so I should be able to record it probably tomorrow or Tuesday. We'll have to see, because I'm doing something tomorrow, so we'll see if I have time to record it tomorrow. But the video should be done by next week. Greetings, everyone. Greetings. So that's why I'm doing this stream, because I was like, I wanted to release something today, but I didn't get a chance. I didn't get the Boomhauer video done, so I guess I'll do a live stream. We haven't done a live stream in a while. Hello, everyone. Hello. Yes, Chinchell, I noticed you. So just what everybody knows what this is about. When I stream, it's generally just a chill time. I'm usually not trying to get I try to get anything specific done. Sometimes I am, but usually it's just a place where you guys can come and talk to me and ask me questions and things like that. And we just have a chill time. I usually play a video game, usually the exact same video game every single time. But I'm here to answer questions. If you want to support the channel, or if you want to make sure that your question gets seen, super chats are live. Donation stuff is live. We do have memberships if you want to do that, but I read the chat in general, so I am paying attention to the chat. Super chats is just for people who feel like going the extra step, or they want to make sure that their thing gets seen, because I do prioritize super chat. So I will go ahead and get Power Wash Simulator up, because that's the only game I play. I would love to find a different game that I could stream and play, but I have trouble splitting my attention between things. Power Wash Simulator is a game I always choose because I don't have to focus to play it, and I can keep reading chat. I don't know how other streamers like read chat and play at the same time. I don't know if I could be a Twitch streamer. So let's go ahead and switch this up. Yeah, I got Power Wash Simulator up. Okay. Please tell me the episode you are doing is the one where Patch shows up. Well, that's not the one that won the poll. I was actually very shocked, and you'll hear me say this in the actual video itself. I was very shocked you guys did not choose Patch Boomhauer, because a lot of people requested Patch Boomhauer for a Boomhauer episode. Like over the years, Patch Boomhauer has been requested, and I was going to do that one, but I also remembered Dangle Love, and I was like, I think that one might actually be a better one, but I want to do the one that people want to see, so let me do a poll. And I was very shocked that the majority of people wanted to see Dangle Love. So that's the one I'm doing. All right, so let's find just something simple. I'm not gonna be streaming for long. I never really stream for like too long. Probably gonna be for like an hour or two. Because then after that, I gotta get something to eat. I am famished because Sundays are my fasting days for my diet. So in a couple hours, my fast will be over, and I'll be able to go eat something. So no, I don't want to do careers. I want to do free play. Is that boat an option? The boat is not an option. Not under vehicles, anyway. Is it under locations? Do you like Henry Cavill's portrayal of Superman? Not really, because I did not like Man of Steel and I did not like Batman v Superman, which were the only DC movies I saw from the DC universe, the DC cinematic universe. Alex Love, $5. Thank you very much. I got a video idea. The Transformers Prime episode partners. Transformers is something a lot of people have been requesting, and I'm really... like, I need to find a series to watch and see. Getting into series is difficult as of late for me because I can't eat junk food, and junk food really helps me get into watching, like binge watching a series. If I don't have junk food, then I have to sit down when I feel like watching a series. And usually my taste to watching stuff is YouTube. So I prefer to like watch YouTube videos as opposed to watching cartoons. So, but if I've got junk food, like I could sit and binge watch just about anything, but I'm not eating junk food right now because I'm on a weight loss thing. So it's difficult for me to, I shouldn't say it's difficult to sit down and watch cartoons. It's more difficult for me to like be in the zone. But I am planning on seeing the new Transformers movie tomorrow. Have you seen Transformers 1? I'm planning on seeing it tomorrow. That's what I've got planned for tomorrow. That's why the recording might not happen tomorrow. Because I do plan on going to see that pretty early. And then next week, I'm planning on seeing that robot movie that everybody's talking about. And I wanted to see Joker 2, but a lot of people are saying, like, you shouldn't, that I should go watch it. What is something simple? Like, I was hoping to clean the boat. Okay, well, I can't find the boat in here in free play. I thought it would be in there. So I guess I'll clean the boat again, but I'll do it in career. I'm probably not going to finish the boat, but this one, the fishing boat, yeah. I'm probably not going to finish it, but I do kind of want to play it. So, wait, is this just going to play the video? No, I don't want to play the video. I want to actually clean the thing. Let me play it. Why can't I play it? I thought, wait, how do I play it? I played this game so much, but I've only played the career once. So, why isn't it letting me play? Both robot movies were great. Both robot movies. There's more than one. Okay. Well, I thought you could come back and just play the level. I'm kind of shocked you can't. Maybe if I press play at the end, it'll say, "Hey, do you want to replay this level?" Shady, which element from Atla can improve your daily life? All elements from Atla can improve your daily life. Having combustion allows for easier access to technology, which is firebending. Waterbending, airbending gives you the ability to move very easily. Airbending would probably be the most convenient because you have airbending allows for personal air conditioning. Like that's why Aang never wears any different clothing in the first season, because he has his own personal air conditioning. All right, whoa, so much for the boat idea, because I couldn't figure out how to get to the level. So I'm shocked the boat is not in here. I guess the washroom. I feel like I've done the washroom before, but it's been so long. Who knows? All right. Wait, you wear shades and a do-rag? I had no idea. Twist. Okay, so I hate this hallway. I like cleaning the bathroom, but I hate this starting hallway. All right. Do they give me all my guns? Yeah, okay. They give me everything for this level. Good. How's the volume for the game? Is it loud? It says it's really loud for you guys. I'm going to turn it down for myself. Oh, that should turn it down for you guys, too, because it's linked to the desktop audio. I pressed the wrong button. Hey, Shady Doorags, glad I caught the stream early. Welcome, welcome. Last time saying this, I promise not to spam, but Shady, will you eventually review Season 2, Episode 6 of Zilla animated series? It's kind of sad. I'm not even sure what that is. Shady, which do you reckon is more useful power? Regeneration like Deadpool or respawning at home like a video game character? Well, that's situational, but I think in most cases regeneration would be the most powerful. And this is assuming you're not also going back in time. Because I said before, like being able to respawn in a video game where things reset, like time resets, that's one of the most broken powers. I said that while reviewing an episode of Miraculous Ladybugs. That's one of the powers in that show, that you can reverse time and undo mistakes as many times as you want. What do you want to see in the King of the Hill revival? I've answered this question many times. I don't really have any expectations for the King of the Hill revival. Like, a lot of people are like, oh, what are your thoughts on it? I'm like, I don't have any thoughts. Like, it could be good, it could be not. I'm just waiting for it to come out and see. Respawning at home means the villains can ambush you or trap you in that home, assuming time doesn't reset. Yeah, but regenerating means that you could be incapacitated and the villains can just trap you in a position where you can still heal, but you can't do anything. Volume down for game, Shady. Okay, so I take it that means you want me to turn the volume down. Okay, I will do that. I will turn it down because I do have it like almost, I don't want to say max, but it is pretty loud. I can hear it just fine. Now it's super quiet on my end. I don't know how it is for you guys. Because of your videos, I've decided to rewatch all of King of the Hill. I've noticed a lot of jokes I didn't realize when I was younger. I'm on season 4. Love the videos. Cool. There's a comic where Deadpool and Wolverine regenerate into each other. It's gross. Shady, I have a hot take. I like the MCU. Superhero banter is very funny from Deadpool. I mean, you're allowed to like what you like. I think the MCU superhero, I think the banter in the MCU was good for a time, but they spammed it. And I really started to not like it when they used it in Spider-Man movies, because Spider-Man has a specific type of humor and they weren't using it. They were defaulting to MCU humor. You were barely cutting above the game volume for me before. Much better now. Okay. That's good. As long as you guys can hear it. There's not much to hear in this game. But as long as you guys can hear it, it's fine. It's very quiet from me, but I'm fine with that. If you could have 3 powers, any powers, what would they be? Well, my number one power is always eternal comfort, quote unquote, which means physically and mentally, I will always be relatively comfortable. Not that I can't get hurt, but I will be relatively comfortable. And if I get too uncomfortable, I will pass out until I reach a level of comfort again. That would be included with immortality. So if I'm counting those as 2 separate powers, immortality would probably be the highest, and then eternal comfort would be the second one. And then if I'm gonna get 3, I mean, I want to lump all of Spider-Man's powers into one. Oh wait, no, I've always wanted the power to control water molecules the same way Hydro Man does from Spider-Man, but I've also always loved Spider-Man's powers, so it would be I guess I'd choose the water one first. How do you... See, invulnerability, when you talk about invulnerability or invincibility of any kind, you got to be careful because you can still get hurt. And even if you're talking about an invulnerability where you can't get hurt, you can still mentally go insane. Because it's like, what if somebody buries you alive and you can't do anything about that? It's like you're just forever buried alive by yourself. You'll go so insane. That's why I say like eternal comfort. Like there's that theory that the universe is going to eventually collapse in on itself. It's like if you're invincible and immortal, like you're going to have to live through that. I hope Game 2 does more Billy Bust Up soon when the full game... Okay. How do you feel about the Japanese King of the Hill dub versus sub debate? I haven't been paying attention to that. This tunnel wall is tripping. This is why I don't like this tunnel wall. I always spend too long on it. I think it's because of these cracks up here that I miss. Do you have any advice on starting YouTubers? I have a ton of advice for starting YouTubers. I've forgotten more about the subject than most people will learn. The general starting advice I always give people is, unless you're trying to expand something like a company or something, always start it and treat it as a hobby. Always treat it as a hobby when you first start it, because you don't know if it's going to be successful. So if you treat it like a business, if you quit your job or you invest a lot of money into it or something like that, you have no idea if that's going to pay off. You want to do something where you say, oh, I was going to do it anyway, and I'm just having fun doing it. That's what you want to do when you start off. And then the other advice I usually give is figure out what you really want to do. Like what you want to, because my big thing that I want to do is, I had a lot of little goals, but like eventually I figured out like one of my main goals is I just want to make people laugh. Like if I can't do anything else on YouTube, that's what I want to do. And then make sure you know the basics of how to do that thing. If you want to review things, make sure you know the basics of storytelling. Or not, well, I said review things and then I specified storytelling. If you want to review like shows or books, make sure you know the basics of storytelling. If you want to review video games, make sure you know the basics of video games and game design and whatnot. Like, you don't have to be an expert to go into whatever field you're trying to get into. Just make sure you know the basics so you know what you're talking about when you talk about it. What are your thoughts on an in-universe person that reboot the universe plan in cartoons? I'm not sure what you mean by that. Do you like those clips of those really dirty mats and they clean it? I'm getting those vibes from this game. Not really. I've seen some YouTube clips about cleaning and maintenance that I enjoy, but not really. This game just has a really satisfying feel to it because it simulates the feeling of getting something done, even though you're not actually doing anything. You're just playing a video game, which, in a sense, that's what all video games do. Simulate the majority of video games. I shouldn't say all. The majority of video games do. They simulate the feeling of accomplishing something. So this game is really satisfying because I kind of ascribe it to like coloring. After you've colored something, it feels really good to look at the finished piece. This game kind of gives you a similar feel to that. You can watch bad visuals with good audio, but you can't watch good visuals but terrible audio. Can you? If something is a visual medium, usually the visual component is the most important part. Shady, will we get the King of the Hill episode of Female Exterminator? I plan on eventually doing that. Probably not anytime soon, but if all those Dale episodes I put on that poll, I plan on eventually getting to them. It's just the bigger the channel grows, the more people ask for more things, and I spread out the content more. So, like King of the Hill isn't being talked about as much. I jokingly say, oh, it's because it's not as successful. Not necessarily. It's just because I have a lot more topics to talk about. So I spread them out. Like I've noticed I haven't done a Static Shock video in forever, and I was like, oh wow, why did that happen? It's like, well, because you started talking more about Justice League, and you try to spread out your superhero content. And because Justice League does so well, you tend to review more episodes. And now you started talking about Batman, and yeah, things just get spread out. If there's like a very niche topic, that successful niche topic, that will probably get talked about more frequently. Like Daria, I feel is pretty niche on the channel. So I can talk about it more reliably, but it still does well. Have you ever watched the show OK KO Let's Be Heroes? If so, what are your thoughts on it? Yeah, I loved that show when it came on. You know, it was all about superheroes and someone becoming superheroes, and I liked the lore they were going for. I was upset when I heard that it was canceled. So I was like, this show could have been like the next Adventure Time, where it starts off really silly but then gets serious as it goes on. What are your thoughts on the new Batman movie and Penguin show? I haven't seen it. I am very behind on modern media. I'm actually treating myself by going to the theaters, because I love going to the theaters, and it does count as part of my job to go to the theaters and make sure I'm kept up with the things that play there. So I'm very happy to take a trip to the movies, but because of my weight loss, I can't get snacks like I want to all the time. So, and I always want snacks when I go to the movie theater. Like I always want the snacks they have. I know it's a waste of money, but I always want the snacks they have at a movie theater. And there was something else I was about to say, but I forgot. I've only seen 4 movies this year, and 3 of them were in the past week. Oh, I guess the other one would be I have to be interested in movies, and my interests are very... They kind of vary. Like, sometimes they're childlike, and sometimes a movie more suited towards adults will catch my eye. Like, Fly Me to the Moon really caught my eye just because of what it was talking about, which was public relations and how much you're willing to compromise to have good public relations. That's something I think about constantly. Okay, so that is done. So I want to go back over here and do this side. You do YouTube full-time, right? Yes, I do YouTube full-time. I've been doing YouTube full-time since 2021. If you decide to ever talk about episodes of OKKO, which episode would you want to start with? I'm not sure. Maybe the episode where they show KO's YouTube channel, since I'm pretty knowledgeable on that one. That one actually tugged at my heartstrings when I first saw it. I had to miss watching the new Alien movie in theaters due to lack of money. As the head of a cleaning company, I barely make money. Aw. Have you done Young Justice? Have I done Young Justice, specifically season 1 or 2? If you're asking have I reviewed it, no. I saw season 1 of Young Justice when it first aired. I haven't seen it since. And I started watching season 2. But it wasn't something I could... It wasn't something I could dedicatedly do. Weeb Guru for $1.99, thank you very much. Will you review Fury of Justice League? It's possible. I say this every stream, like, I want to get into doing, like, movies and stuff. But venturing outside my comfort zone is, A, it's a risk, and B, like, I struggle with scripts. I struggle with scripts in general. But then trying to do something different, I'm constantly, when I make scripts, second guessing myself. because it used to be I would just make a script and then I'd be confident in it. You know, I'd be like, oh, it's funny, it's good, it says what I want it to say. Now because and I blame success for this. Like I overthink everything. It's hard to be a bard lyrics. It's like I want to do something as good as the last thing I already made or even better. And so I constantly am overthinking my scripts and I'm constantly harshly judging them. Like, oh, that's not that funny. There aren't that many jokes in there. I could have been clearer when I say this. And like I'll start writing a script and I'll be like, this opener sucks. It doesn't grab the viewer's attention in any way, shape, or form. And then a lot of scripts get put on the back burner because of that. What is one show and or movie you absolutely refuse to talk about and why? I don't want to say absolutely refuse to talk about, but I probably never will talk about. It's a show that gets requested a lot, is Moral Oral. And that's because it talks about organized religion, and that is a subject that I don't like diving into. I have talked about organized religion on the channel before, but I don't really want to. And Moral Oral is full because it's a subject that I deal with myself, and I would have to fully deal with it myself before I would feel comfortable talking about it to people on the internet. So it's not that I refuse to talk about it. It's just it probably will never happen. Weeb Guru, thank you very much again. No, it's a 2-part episode from Justice League. Oh, hold on. You said Fury. Okay, wow. I feel ashamed. Because usually when somebody describes an episode of Justice League, I immediately know what they're talking about, and I miss that. I pretty much plan on talking about Justice League forever. Like, I don't see that ending. As long as people are interested in it, I'll keep talking about it, because I am heavily interested in Justice League. I love superhero stuff. And Justice League, in my opinion, is the best superhero show, period. But the order of priority is what people are requesting. I don't have plans for an immediate Justice League in the immediate future, but the next episode will probably, don't quote me on this, but it'll probably be the greatest story never told. I think that's what it's called. The one with Booster Gold, because a lot of people have requested that one. I think that's the name of that episode, The Greatest Story Never Told. But the one with Booster Gold, so many people have requested that one. Justice League, I'm pretty much doing like whatever most people request, want to see, I will review. Because I do not have a priority with that show. Obviously, there are episodes that I like more. My favorite episode is the one where they time travel. And then like another episode I really love watching is the one where they turn into kids. So if those two were requested heavily, I would jump at the opportunity. But there's no episode that people want to see that I'm going to be like, oh, I don't really want to talk about that one. Like, Justice League is just a fun show for me to talk about. What about all the DC animated movies? Yeah, that's another one. Once I'm off this weight loss program, I will be able to eat a lot more junk food, and reviewing will come, not reviewing, binge watching things will come a lot easier, because I can just pick a day, grab a bunch of junk food, and then binge watch it. Though today is my cheat day, so I'll probably be watching some more Batman after the stream. Because I'm on the final season of Batman the Animated Series, and I'm hoping I'll be able to get to Superman soon. Because I want to watch all of Batman, all of Superman, and all of Batman Beyond. Because I do not have good memory of those shows. Any thoughts on the absolute Batman design? If it's that one with that fat bat on his chest, I didn't like it when I saw it. I think that's a pretty freaking lazy design. Okay, that one's done. Kid stuff. Yep, with Dakota Fanning. I love that episode. I think I'm more attracted to superheroes when it involves kids being the superheroes, because I've noticed that about myself. Like, I prefer Teen Titans over Justice League, even though Justice League I think is objectively better. So I think that's the case with me. That's probably why I love kid stuff so much. I think it's just because my inner child is like highly activated whenever I see Saturday morning cartoons. I hope I'm still presentable. My oh, I don't have any water. That was a mistake. I hope I'm still presentable. I feel my sinuses acting up a smidgen. Would you ever review the first Batman episode of Brave and the Bold? Batmite. Oh, okay. Batmite episode. Yeah, I put Brave and the Bold on hold because I wanted to watch Batman the Animated Series. There is a very specific episode I do have planned to review, but it'll be for a very specific time. But a lot of people for Brave and the Bold have asked for the Music Meister episode, which I haven't gotten to. I watched like a good 5 episodes of Batman Brave and the Bold, and then I put it on hiatus for other shows. What is the best animated superhero show in your Justice League? Justice League and Justice League Unlimited. I consider them both the same show. Have you seen Spectacular Spider-Man? Yes, it is an animated Spider-Man card. Yes, I've seen Spectacular Spider-Man, and honestly, it's the best Spider-Man show. Yes, I agree with you. Spectacular Spider-Man is objectively the best Spider-Man show. I have a bias towards Spider-Man the Animated Series because it's the one I grew up with. Daniel Barnes is the voice I hear when I read Spider-Man comics, but Spectacular is objectively the best Spider-Man series. 100% agree with you there. Teen Titans and the like, especially Terra, are a perfect representation of fledglings learning and adapting to be the successors of adults before them, to become not just heroes, but men. Well, I don't know if Raven or Starfire, Starfire, and Cyborg aren't really following in anyone's footsteps. They're doing their own thing. Robin is following someone's footsteps, and Beast Boy came from a team, but I don't know if he's trying to like live up to what they stood for. Who is your favorite Dragon Ball character and why? Gohan, because I was a kid when I first saw Dragon Ball Z, and Gohan was the kid of Dragon Ball Z, so I always related to him more. And then eventually when he grew up, he was a geek and a nerd, which I am. So never stopped relating to Gohan more than any other character. Out of all the Powerpuff Girls main villains, who do you feel should have gotten more screen time or development aside from Mojo Jojo? Well, Mojo Jojo got like the most screen time and development, so no, I don't think he should have gotten more. I think him could have been more interesting. Like what they did with him was they turned him in. He was he was the big bad, but they never really did anything with him. He was always just playing around. Like, the only time they actually did something serious with him, to my knowledge, was the time travel episode. But it seemed like he could have always done more if he wanted, but he was always just playing around because he was just that powerful. Which I guess is the motif they were going for. You know, he's so powerful that he could win at any point. He just chooses, like, he treats it as a game. I remember the Riddles episode with him. I had a lot of fun with that episode. Do you think Chi-Chi is a bad mother for how bossy and overbearing she is? Not really. I think Chi-Chi can be a bad partner because she realized what Goku was. Her whole life she knew what Goku was. And then once they got married, she expected that to change. which kind of says something, you know. It's like, oh, I expected him to, once he became a dad, to become a dad, you know, to act like a dad, which, you know, in real life I could kind of see that, but in the exaggerated nature of cartoons, it's difficult to see. Like, knowing how thick Goku is, you know that your whole life. But I don't necessarily think Chi-Chi is a horrible mom, as horrible as people make her out to be, I should say. I think there are bad parts about how she raises Gohan, but I think they're exaggerated with the fact that it is an action show and people want to see action. And Gohan, for the longest time, was he had the most potential to be the strongest fighter. A lot of people feel Chi-Chi kind of ruined Gohan as well. Chi-Chi, I can fix him. It's not even that. It wasn't that she thought she could fix Goku. It's she thought he would be fixed once he got married. Like, not even once he got married, just he would eventually just be fixed. He would just eventually stop being the person she knew. I recommend My Hero Academia show. Watch it. It's great. I've heard nothing but good things about My Hero Academia. I should watch it. It's just, you know, I talk about this every stream because there's always somebody who's like, will you review anime? And I have to tell them, no, for two reasons. A, YouTube doesn't like anime, and B, I fell out of anime thanks to watching a bunch of animes that ticked me off back to back. So I would have to get back into anime. Who is your favorite superhero? Spider-Man. Spider-Man is my favorite fictional character of all time. I think she chilled out after a long time. Yeah, she chilled out after Goku died because nothing happened. Like, Gohan was just able to live his life. So after that, she became a lot more chill. Like, ever since Raditz, the Z Warriors' lives were so hectic, and Gohan got thrusted into it. Gohan was kidnapped at the age of what, 4? He was kidnapped and forced to be a warrior. He had no choice in the matter. And he could have came back home, but then he realized, like, he actually did. There's a filler episode. Well, I don't know if it's filler, but there's an episode in Dragon Ball Z where Gohan actually goes back home, and he gets all the way home, and he sees his mom, and then he's like, wait, I want to protect her. So I actually have to go back and train because I need to protect her. Yeah, if you did Yu-Gi-Oh! Or Pokemon, you'd have to review the entire series at once because every episode bleeds into the next. Yu-Gi-Oh! That's definitely true because you could do like a duel, like a specific duel of Yu-Gi-Oh! Pokemon, I don't think you necessarily, well, my memory of Pokemon is very fuzzy. It's been so long since I've seen Pokemon. I've only seen Dragon Ball Z Abridged. Pretty funny. Yeah, Dragon Ball Z Abridged kind of did some damage. I don't want to, like, say it in a way that blames them, because what Dragon Ball Z Abridged is doing is exaggerating everything about Dragon Ball Z. And the exaggerations work as jokes. It's just a lot of people have only seen Abridged, and so they take the exaggerations to heart. Like, they take how stupid Goku is in Dragon Ball Z Abridged to heart. It's like, yes, Goku is pretty simple, but not as bad as Abridged makes him out to be. Not nearly as bad. Also, who are your Tekken mains, and have you seen MTV's new animated series of Spider-Man from like 2003? I did see that series. I have very little memory of it. My Tekken main is Steve. I haven't played Tekken in a while. I meant to buy Tekken 8 when it released, but at the time I decided to put that money towards something else. Steve is my main. I haven't played Tekken 6, so I'm not sure how much they changed the characters. I used to be pretty decent with Yoshimitsu. Raven, I think I just lost. I think I've just forgotten how to play with Raven. But Steve was definitely my main. Oh, Miguel, I was pretty good with too. Isn't Teen Titans kind of an anime, or at least the animation is kind of similar? Yeah, a lot of Teen Titans was anime inspired in regards to the art direction. How are you doing today, Shady? I'm doing okay. Like, I can't really complain. I do have some first world problems though. My weight loss thing is going, and I didn't lose as much weight this week as normally, which is like, whenever that happens, whenever I stop losing as much weight as I normally do, my brain goes into like a panic mode, because it's like, what did I do differently? What did I do wrong? And I try to fix it, and I'm not sure what I did wrong this time, because I actually burnt more calories this week than I did last week, yet somehow I haven't lost nearly as much weight. But yeah, that's first world problems, and I'm also annoyed I didn't get the Boomhauer video done, but it should be done by next week. Shady, who is more funny, Deadpool or Spider-Man? So I've read like one Deadpool comic. Most of Deadpool's humor I know is from pop media or pop culture. So authentic Deadpool, I've never found the type of humor Deadpool does that funny. Like, I do find it funny, but I don't find it that funny. I think the funniest Deadpool person I've seen is just some random guy. I think his Deadpool stuff is like pretty good. But Spider-Man to me is like the funniest comic book character, which is why I get so annoyed with the MCU movies, because they don't capture his humor. Spectacular Spider-Man captures his humor great. Animated series captures his humor great. Into the Spider-Verse captures his humor pretty well. Specifically in the first movie. The second movie, they don't do as good a job. They still do a good job, but not as good a job. But the first movie, Into the Spider-Verse, they do a really good job capturing Spider-Man's humor. But the MCU just doesn't have it. Which they'll show glimpses of it, like when Peter says, "Oh, are you guys the Avengers? Oh, can I get your autograph?" Like, yeah, that's Spider-Man humor. But then they default to MCU humor. It was like, "Oh, the tingle. Like that, the tingle ticks me off so much. Them calling the spider sense the tingle. It just annoys me so much because it's not a funny joke. Wait, does this count as this side as well? What character do you despise from any show you watched unintentionally by the writers? For example, a character you're supposed to hate is Joker, and someone you're usually not supposed to is Superman. From a show, Korra. Korra annoyed me so much. Like, when I think of Legend of Korra as a whole, Korra is not that bad, mainly because of season 3 and season 4, specifically season 4. Like, season 4 Korra actually makes her pretty likable. But the rest of that show, Korra is just one of the most annoying. I can't stand Korra. She-Hulk? I detest Jennifer Walters from the She-Hulk show. Like, golly goodness, I detest her. And this is not a show, but Chloe and Max from Life is Strange, they are some of my most hated fictional characters. Plateauing that could be fixed by using the same muscles but in different ways. The higher quality of muscle fiber stress, the more calories consumed. I mean, yeah, I hit a lot of plateaus, and it always frustrates me. And usually, like, I just have to switch something up. Well, I'm saying usually. I've only been doing this weight loss thing for less than a year. I started in January. I agree with you on Cap's voice of the MCU. It just didn't sound commanding and sounded too pretty boy voice. Yeah, which is why he was a perfect Johnny Storm. Chris Evans, I don't care what anybody says. He was perfectly casted for Johnny Storm. What's the worst Hank episode of King of the Hill? I mean, Patch Boomhauer is a pretty bad one, but at the show gets on Hank's case in that one. I don't like the episode where Bobby becomes a model. That's a pretty bad one. There's another episode, but I cannot think of it. Like, I feel like I just saw it, but I cannot think of it. You know what I said recently? One comment about Miraculous came up, said that while watching your Reflectall reaction was thinking inside, why couldn't we have watched this show? I don't remember what I said in the Reflectall episode. I remember I don't really like, I hate the Reflectall design. Oh, do you have like our own Ultimate Alliance 1? I think I played that, but I'm pretty sure I don't own it. The one where Hank makes Bobby work for a bad boss, Jimmy Witchard. If you're talking about the bad Hank episode, that's not a bad Hank episode in my opinion. Hank just didn't know. Like, Hank knew that Bobby was a bad worker. And that's, like, it is true. Bobby was a bad worker. That was the thing. Hank just wasn't aware that Bobby was capable of identifying a bad boss. And once he heard from Dale that Jimmy could be a bad boss, and once he saw it with his own eyes, he was like, oh, I was in the wrong for this, for assuming he couldn't identify a bad boss. I don't blame Hank for thinking Bobby couldn't identify a bad boss, because Bobby was not a good worker. Since Halloween is coming up, what's your favorite Hollywood movie special? My family didn't really do much Halloween. I guess technically the answer to that question would be the Fairly Odd Parents Halloween special. That's the only one I really know. But my family did not do much Halloween growing up. We didn't do any Halloween growing up. My family was very adverse to Halloween. Where do you think the DCEU fell off? The DCEU? I take it that's the cinematic universe, in which case that would be Man of Steel. I think it started off poorly because it didn't understand Superman. I think people have said Wonder Woman was good. I never saw Wonder Woman, so I take people's word for it and say they could have fixed it if they had went the route of Wonder Woman. But Man of Steel was awful, and Batman v Superman was awful. All right, what am I looking at? This thing up here. Oh, that's because it goes that way. Okay. All right. DC Extended Universe. Okay, I always wonder what the E stood for in DCU. It's like, well, why do they call it the MCU but not the DCU? Like, but I guess it's because it would be the DCCU. They don't want to put two C's back to back. What is the worst episode of Justice League? The worst episode? That is a difficult one. I can say some episodes I'm not fond of. I'm not really fond of the first Gorilla Grodd episode. Is it the first one? It might be the second one. The one where he takes control of Flash. I'm not really fond of that one. I'm not fond of the one where Wonder Woman gets turned into a pig. A lot of people have asked me to review that one because, you know, it's ship material for Batman and Diana, but I'm not too fond of it. Do you think they should have treated Yamcha better? The series? Did they treat him badly? I mean, I guess the main thing they did bad to Yamcha was they turned him into a cheater, specifically so they could break him up with Bulma. I guess that's the worst thing. Like, Yamcha is treated worse by the fans than he is the series. Like, yeah, he fell off as a fighter, but it's just because he went to do different things. But he is kind of, he was killed by the Cybermen, and he was killed by the androids, or almost killed. Like, he came very close to death by the androids. So I guess you could say his character, because he was other than Goku, he was there at the beginning. Yamcha was always there, even before Krillin. So I guess you could make the argument that they kind of are doing a disrespect to the Z fighter who was there longer than anyone else other than Goku. But I don't feel like the series treated him too badly. Like, he became a professional baseball player and did pretty well for himself. He just wasn't a fighter anymore. He just fell out of fighting. Wait, Yamcha cheating wasn't a TFS gag. Don't take my word for it. Look it up. I don't think the part where they say he cheated in TFS is very different than the part where he cheated, where people complain about him cheating in canon. Because they say he cheated. Trunks says he doesn't remain faithful to Bulma. And that's why Bulma starts looking elsewhere. TFS doesn't have him cheating on Bulma. They have him already broken up with Bulma by the time the Vegeta thing happens. Are you excited for James Gunn's Superman movie, and what do you hope to see from it? Not really, no. I don't really care for live-action superhero movies anymore. MCU, I just completely fell out of MCU, and I was never into the DCEU. Joker was the movie I was looking forward to, Joker 2, and people are saying, like, it's just horrible. So I'm not even sure if I'm actually gonna see it. Like, even though people were saying it was bad, I was still planning to see it, because I was like, okay, well, I'll just experience its badness for myself. But they talk about, because Joker, the first Joker movie is a movie that was supposed to make you very uncomfortable. They talk about some of the subject matters in the second movie, and I'm like, oh, that might take me to a place I do not want to go watching that. Shady, go wishlist Marvel Rivals. You need to play it. Well, I need to get into video games. Again, that's something else I constantly say in every stream. It's like, oh, I need to get into video games. And I was doing Let's Plays on the second channel, but I got really busy with this channel, so I haven't done a Let's Play on the second channel in a long time. That will definitely pick back up, at least by January. Because January, I always slow down on the main channel. So with January, that'll give me plenty of time to, like, do more videos. I was supposed to do that this year, where I was supposed to make a bunch of videos in January for the second channel. But I ran into technical difficulties and didn't get them solved until the end of January, where I had to go back to working on the main channel. So go. I recommend Gargoyles. It's a great show. Yeah, Gargoyles is a show I've been meaning to get to. A lot of people have requested it, and I know it talks about things that would be good review material for the channel. It's one I've definitely been meaning to get to. Super goofy question. What's your thoughts on Atla the Zutara shipping? Heard some good thoughts, but can appreciate Aang getting the girl. So when Atla first premiered, I was a Zutara shipper, and that's mainly because of Book 2. Some people started shipping Zutara since Book 1. According to the creators, when in the Fortune Teller episode, when the Fortune Teller said, "You'll be married to a powerful bender," a lot of people were saying they thought that was going to be Zuko. I didn't start shipping them until Book 2, when they did their little meetup in the cave. In the prison cave, the cave prison, because to me, that one little moment, they had so much chemistry, and I realized, like, wow, these two are actually fun to watch together, because Zuko is so devoid of hope. and he has to work hard for everything, and Katara's just filled with hope. And so seeing them actually come together for a moment of understanding was actually very, very fulfilling. Like, I felt like these two characters completed each other, and that they would be really fun to watch form a relationship with each other. So I was a big Zutara shipper. Then book 3 came out and completely destroyed any hope of Zutara, not just because of the kiss at the end, but when you see how much Zuko is in love with Mei, you're just like, oh, Zutara's not happening. Some people are like, how can people be Zutara shippers when Zuko is clearly in love with Mei? Because it didn't start in book 3. We didn't know how much Zuko liked Mei until book 3 came out. But yeah, once book 3 came out, like that pretty much ended it. So obviously I'm annoyed because my ship didn't happen, but I think it's fine because it, you know, they showed just how much Zuko liked Mei, and Katara's affection acts as a type of reward for Aang's character, since him losing his love was a big part of the show, and Katara is the representation of love in the show. So I think thematically it works very well. I just think character-wise, Zuko is a more fun character for Katara to interact with when they're being nice to each other. Not when they're being mean to each other. I actually really don't like the. Oh wait, that's kind of a spoiler for my Atla reviews, but I have not been doing my Atla reviews. That's the thing I want to do, is just take a month and just do a bunch of Atla reviews. Like I'm hesitant to do them because I'm trying to grow the channel, and the Atla reviews don't get views. But I still want to do them. Like, I still want to talk about Avatar. I love Avatar. Joshua Goforth, $4.99. Thank you very much. Did you ever end up watching season 2 of Green Eggs and Ham? Yes, I did. And I didn't like it. I was very annoyed at season 2 of Green Eggs and Ham, and I tried to do a script of Green Eggs and Ham, but I just couldn't get the wording right. That was something I definitely tried to do for season 2. The second season of Green Eggs and Ham annoyed me because, what's her name? EB is so annoying in season 2. I would have to rewatch it to specifically go back to. EB and Sam are both extremely annoying in season 2. I need to go back and rewatch it though, because Sam ruins like a couple of things when he's working with the spy lady. He ruins so much stuff, and the show wants you to be like, oh, she should spend more time with him. It's like, she's doing a job, and he's messing it up. Like, yes, she has and then suddenly he becomes competent at it. I'm like, oh no, this is way too manipulative. And EB annoys me because EB assumes she's right about so much stuff, and the show just backs her up. And I'm like, no, EB, if you had been wrong, this all would have gone awfully. Yeah, I've said this already, but just to repeat myself, I need to rewatch it to fully remember why season 2 annoyed me, but it annoyed me a lot. And like I said, it would have been better if they had just switched stories. They could have did All the Places You'll Go, or something with the Grinch, or something with the Cat in the Hat. They didn't have to stick with Green Eggs and Ham. Have you seen 2003 Ninja Turtles? Also justice for Baxter Stockman. I know he was evil, but he had it rough. The 2000s version of the Ninja Turtles is the one I grew up on. However, I don't have much memory of it. Like, I watched it a lot. It came on Kids WB and I watched it a lot, but I don't have much memory of it. Joshua Goforth, again, thank you, $4.99. I hated it myself, but I was really curious what you thought. Plus, the final joke, in addition to EB, really irked me. The final joke, I feel like, was really bad. I feel like it kind of tramples on the message they were trying to tell with the final joke. EB really irked you too. Okay, I'm glad I'm not alone in that. EB was just so annoying in that season. I don't own any Atla DVDs, funnily enough. I own the entire series, so sitting over there on my shelf. The 3 series I own all of, DVD-wise, are Atla, Justice League, and it's right here. Daria. I own all those. I'm planning on getting more because streaming, like, I don't like the fact that I don't own a lot of stuff. That if streaming services say, hey, we're gonna take these off, then I could just never see them again. Ben 10 is one I'm planning on getting, specifically Alien Force, because Alien Force is just so hard to find on streaming. So it would be good for me to just own all of Ben 10 Alien Force, because I would like to talk more about Ben 10. Like, I know a lot of people are waiting for Alien Force reviews. I reviewed one episode of the original Ben 10, but I know people are actually waiting for, like, Alien Force reviews. Shady, here is my idea for the next Atlas show. It would take place after Korra, and the new avatars are twins. One being a dark avatar. It would be like Sozen and Roku episode, but like 13. Sounds interesting. I mean, Avatar had so... Avatar had so much potential just in its concept alone, because it was done so well. And then Korra came and proved that the people in charge of it don't really know what they're doing. Also, you know, there was the complications with Nickelodeon and whatnot. That did get in the way. I will acknowledge that. But like pretty much everything after Atla has not been good. The live action movie was not good. The Shyamalan movie. Korra did not live up to it. A lot of people, I haven't seen the live action show, but a lot of people saying it did not live up to it. Like, nothing seems to live up to what Atla was capable of. I recommend Lego Ninjago. A lot of... Caleb, have you recommended that before? Because I get that recommendation a lot. And I was about to say, a lot of people recommend me that, but it's just because I hear it a lot. So if one person is saying it a lot, my brain's just going to interpret it as it being being requested a lot. Atla is lightning in a bottle, but it shouldn't be. That's the thing. They created a good blueprint for things to follow. It's just the people making them don't know what they're doing. They're like, I'm so sick of this, man. Like, because I see it. I personally lived it with Atla, but I see it all the time in other series. I'm so sick of these people getting their hands on IPs and being like, all we have to do is follow the rule of cool and money will just print itself. And then they completely destroy the immersion of people who immerse themselves. All right, I said immerse and immersion. They completely destroy the immersion of geeks who follow that stuff. And then the geeks come out and complain and say, hey, this doesn't make sense with what was established. And they're like, oh, you're just living in the past. You only like the old stuff. It's like, no, you've broken their immersion. They fell in love with that old stuff for a reason. And you are shifting away from what they loved about that. I have a video in me that I really want to make about immersion because I'm so sick and tired of this discourse on Twitter happening where something with an IP happens and old fans come out and say, we don't like this. And then newer fans are like, you just don't like anything. I'm so sick of this because immersion is important to geeks. And they care about that so much. And then these new people come who they see something cool and they're like, it's still cool. You're just complaining for no reason. It's like you weren't there when I was in love with the series from the get-go. Oh, sorry. No, I'm not sorry. I'm Shady Doorags. This is what I do. I rant about stuff. Cough, Netflix, She-Ra, cough. Yeah, and that's another thing is what's cool to you is not cool to them, or what's cool to them is not cool to everyone. So they're like, well, it's super cool to me. I love that this happened. You just complain all the time. It's like, there's a reason there are rules, all right? There is a reason there are rules to this world that you have just co-opted. They keep thinking changes are necessary for adaptation, which is very annoying. I mean, change to a degree is necessary, but you can't hide behind the excuse of it's different, therefore better. Like that's so annoying to me. Like you need to, and I'm not saying the old fans are always going to be 100% right. There are old fans who just can't accept change. That is true. That is a thing, but they hide behind that excuse so much. And it is so infuriating because I'm like, prove that this is a good thing for your series. If you're just gonna say it matches the themes that you're going for or that it's cool, then you don't know what you're talking about, because you will put any slop in front of yourself and claim it's quality because it has a theme or it looks cool. Like that's what I said on Twitter about when somebody was like, "Oh, Star Wars was always bad. It's always been sci-fi schlock. You're just blinded by nostalgia." I'm like, you just told me not to listen to your opinion on this thing because you would watch anything that you consider sci-fi schlock. And because Star Wars is now putting out sci-fi schlock, you're willing to watch it. That's not what people who liked Star Wars when it came out considered it. They don't just want sci-fi schlock. Angry Shady is best Shady, am I right? Also, Netflix She-Ra sucked. I am so sad. Yeah, She-Ra is a big one. That I didn't grow up with She-Ra, but I hear, I feel so much sympathy for people who grew up with He-Man and She-Ra. An example of fans who can't accept change is the sequel of Ghost of Tsushima, where you'll get to play as a woman. Well, I don't know that series, so I guess I could take your word for it, but, you know, I said this on Twitter as well. Pattern recognition has people jumping the gun whenever anything is woke or progressive, because for so long in the 2010s, something would be progressive and people would say, hey, this is bad. And then the people defending it would say, you just don't like it because it's progressive. So now people's pattern recognition is anything that's even slightly progressive is probably going to be bad. They're pushing it in the bad direction. We don't want this. Get it out of here. So it's like something that would have been perfectly acceptable back in the day. If you tried it now, people don't trust your motivations. I said this in my my YouTube short that I made. It's not that people necessarily hate progressive messaging. It's that you pushed bad progressive messaging on people so much that their pattern recognition now sees any progressive messaging and think, oh, that's going to be bad. They are going to ruin something I love. No, I'm not giving an inch because I gave an inch before and they ruined something I love. So this time, no, just stick to what I like. So it's like maybe the whole Ghost of Tsushima thing is an overblown thing. Like maybe it will actually be good and people shouldn't necessarily, people are jumping the gun. Maybe that's the case. But if that's the case, I don't blame those people for jumping the gun because it was warned for years that this would happen. People kept saying that if you keep demanding that we accept something because it's progressive, people are going to associate progressive things with bad quality, and they are going to prematurely judge them. People like Evie Fry from Assassin's Creed Syndicate just fine. Female protagonists as primary male franchises are not bad. Yeah. I don't remember anyone complaining about Evie. I do remember some people saying like, not complaining about Evie, but complaining that Jack was a bit too stupid. And as a result, like, because Evie's supposed to look like, I'm calling him Jack, his name's Jacob. Evie looks like the much more competent one because of how incompetent Jacob looks. And people were kind of wondering if that's like, they went a bit overboard with that. But as far as I could tell, people didn't really complain too much about Evie being there specifically, like just existing there. As far as I know, maybe there were some people and I just missed it. But man, that's a video that I really want to make, but because it's not reviewing something, I'm not sure how I'm gonna script it. There's so many things that I could review. Like I'm probably gonna go for the Dungeons and Dragons wheelchair talk because Dungeons and Dragons is something I know pretty well. Well, I shouldn't say that. I play a lot of Pathfinder Dungeons and Dragons, but I shouldn't say I know it really well. Like you could, I wouldn't pass a quiz on any lore or anything like that, especially if it's 5e because I play Pathfinder. What's your fave Ben 10 alien? I'm not sure if I have an absolute fave. I tend to like the stereotypical cool ones like Hot Shot, Forearms, and Diamond Head. Shady sounded like that scene from Futurama where Fry was telling Leela that people don't change in paraphrase. I don't remember that scene. Shady, thoughts on Steven Universe? I need to finish it. I started it so long ago and I never finished it. I need to. Because I think, did Max just take it off? I think Max might have just taken it off of their platform. I fear we're going to the other extreme in the social sphere. I like seeing other cultures and don't mind seeing a female main character, but it has to be natural and subtle and not in your face. Like, again, I'm repeating what I said on Twitter. Just make it make sense. If it makes sense, if you don't ruin my immersion, I'm not gonna complain about it. Just make it make sense. Tell the story. If you specifically really want people of color or female or diversity, whatever, just make it make sense. That's all you have to do. But no, that's work. I don't want to make it make sense. I want to co-opt this thing that is already popular and then add it to my repertoire. So the thing that I like will be the thing that everyone likes. It's just straight up laziness. That's what they're doing. It is straight, that's the simple explanation for it. It's laziness. They don't want to put in the work of making their thing good. And when they try to put in the work of making their thing good, most of the time it's rejected. There are some instances where it comes out successful, like the Barbie movie. And to be fair, I detest the Barbie movie so much. I went in the Barbie movie really wanting to love the Barbie movie. I thought it was going to be this fun, campy experience, like a Lego Movie 2.0. I guess that would be the Lego Movie 2. A Lego Movie 3.0. And then I came out really annoyed at it because I felt like I was tricked by the advertising. But it was successful. I think it was successful for the wrong reasons, but it was successful. But most of the time when that stuff happens, like it doesn't do well because they put their whatever they're trying to do over the quality of the thing. Do you think Piccolo has great uncle energy, or that just mean because he's a great caretaker for Pan? I have not seen anything Dragon Ball Z related past Dragon Ball GT. I have not seen anything Dragon Ball related past GT, other than Team 4 Star, and I was reading Dragon Ball Multiverse, but I since stopped because the writer of Dragon Ball Multiverse said on multiple occasions things I did not like, and the last time he said it was the final straw for me. What is your hot take on DC characters? I don't know if I have a hot take on DC characters specific. Oh, my hot take on DC characters is that there shouldn't be two Flashes. That's my hot take. When Barry came back, one of them should have changed their name, which is why I say the same thing about Miles. When he joined 616 Universe, he should have changed his name. You should not have two characters with the same name. That is a storytelling rule that you're supposed to follow. You don't have the same characters with the same name. I could understand if they weren't, like, these are characters who frequently work with each other. So if they were like on the other side of the planet, fine, whatever. I still think it's a bad idea, but I could understand it. But two characters that are frequently working with each other should not have the same name. That is confusing. I was hoping the gnome would just reappear in the toilet. That would have been hilarious, actually, if that had happened. You know, dude, people need to open up more for the idea that the comic books are weird. Brave and the Bold embrace that and better for it. I mean, time and a place for everything. I'm fine with weird comics, but I'm also fine with seriousness. What I don't like is stagnation. And I don't like forced stuff. Like, I can take weirdness in Brave and the Bold. It gets annoying if if Brave and the Bold's weirdness would appear in Batman the Animated Series. I forgot what episode I found it. It's when aliens attack, episode of Future, season 1, episode 12. I still don't remember the speech. I remember that episode, I think. Insomniac Spider-Man game series has the exact same issue and it doesn't address it. What, the Spider-Man thing? I mean, if you're talking about the name thing, like sometimes they'll just make fun of it, like, oh, Spider-Man, oh, which one? You know, but they change the name. Shady, which anime dub do you like the most? Which anime dub? I mean, I grew up with Yu-Gi-Oh!, Dragon Ball Z, their dubs. So I fully love their dubs. The Funimation dub for Dragon Ball Z is the one I like. I mean, comics can be weird and serious. Comics can be any form of storytelling, like movies, cartoons. Yeah, they're a medium. There are certain expectations when it comes to certain mediums. You know, certain art styles that are expected, certain cliches that happen, you know, in anime. It doesn't matter what type of, well, it does matter what type, but a lot of various types of animes will accept certain things, like the giant sweat drop. A lot of various animes will accept that. Do you have a favorite Yu-Gi-Oh duel? Favorite Yu-Gi-Oh duel. For a long time, I was really partial to Joey versus Yugi in Duelist Kingdom. It's been a really long time since I've just watched raw Yu-Gi-Oh. Because I watch a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh abridged. No matter what, it's been you and me. No matter what. Have you seen the anime called Bleach? No, I have not. I don't. I started reading Bleach, but it didn't really stick with me. Which post-World War II decade do you think has the best music? Post-World War II. I'm trying to remember. Because I really like music from the 50s. But World War II, I don't remember the exact dates of World War II. Do you think Vegeta earned his redemption, or was he forgiven too quickly by everyone for all he did? I think Vegeta earned his redemption up until mid-Buu arc, where he admits that he gave into Babidi. That's when they kind of messed up his redemption. Because he just straight up murders a crowd of people. Because with Namek, he wasn't forgiven. It was just, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. And then up until that point, it was like, he's here, we're working with him to defeat a greater enemy. And then his redemption really happened like after Cell, when he had contributed to defeating Cell. So, like, he heavily contributed to defeating Cell. Shady, have you heard there's a Robin animated movie in the works? Yes, I made a Twitter joke about it. I listened to that my superhero movie song from Teen Titans Go a lot. And I posted some lyrics from that. I will more than likely seek that out once it releases. 'Cause I'm a big Grayson fan. You ever checked out Venture Bros? I watched the first episode because a lot of people were asking for reviews of it, and it was hard to get into, and people were like, keep watching it, it gets better. So it's on my list of things to go back and check out, but I'm not in a hurry to watch it because there's a lot of other stuff I actually want to watch. After he allowed Cell to absorb Android 18, nearly doomed everyone for his own ego. I don't think they forgave him for that, for him doing that. I mean, oh, I guess they did. I guess we don't know how the tension was after Cell was dead. But like everything was fixed, so, and also Vegeta immediately got beaten up by Cell and humiliated by Cell, so I feel like I feel like I could easily see people being like, okay, well, he got his just desserts. Thoughts on Teen Titans Go, episodes 40%, 40%, 20%, aka The Night Begins to Shine. A lot of people, I saw that episode, a lot of people were really praising that episode. Like, it was fine to me. I'd say it's higher quality than what Teen Titans Go normally puts out, but I don't remember anything about it that made me go, wow, this is really good. Like, the thing I was most impressed with Teen Titans Go was the movie. And there were parts of that movie that, like, weren't really good. Like, the part where they go back in time is, ironically, a huge waste of time. But I like the overall vibe of that movie. It's really weird, though, that Slade, like, they have the voices for all the Teen Titans and most of their villains, but their main villain, they didn't want to get Ron Perlman. So they got, I'm blanking on his name, the guy who plays BoJack Horseman. Let's also forget that Bulma has no issue hooking up with Vegeta after Namek, even though he tried to kill everyone on Earth barely a month prior. She is just as bad. Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to say I disagree with you, but to be fair, Bulma was giving into her nursing instincts because she had to take care of Vegeta. Again, I'm not going to disagree with you. That's still her, like, giving into her some really bad instincts. But they were heightened because she was nursing him. And, you know, it's a very cliche thing where if a woman nurses a man, they start to fall for them. I said cliche. I think maybe instinctual would be a better word for it that I was looking for. Because those voices are similar enough, no one would notice. I definitely noticed. Oh, you're probably being sarcastic. I feel like they tried to redeem Frieza in Dragon Ball Super too much. I get most of it was we need to use him because we have no choice, but the way the arc ends felt too weird. I'd never seen Super, so I wouldn't be able to tell you. It's interesting to me that they brought Frieza back. I feel like Frieza is the most popular villain in all of Dragon Ball Z. Like, I think his popularity outshines Cell, and I think while Vegeta is probably more popular, I don't think he was more popular as a villain. Sounds like they've been running out of ideas for Dragon Ball, probably. It's been on for a while. Do you think the CW-DC show should get a few cameos in the DCEU? I don't really care, because I don't care about the DCEU. And I have not seen a single CW-DC show. Have you watched Ghost in the Shell? No. Ghost in the Shell came on a lot when I was a kid, but I never saw a single episode. Actually, I tried to watch episodes of Ghost in the Shell as a kid. I couldn't follow anything. I could not understand what was going on. copper. Okay, these are all not one big thing. Thoughts on Pathfinder Wrath of Righteous? So I've never played any modules, if that's what you're talking about. I only know the rules of Pathfinder, and I make up, me and my DM that I play with, we make up our own campaigns. I have one player's handbook, and it's for 5e. And I only got it because it seemed like just a cool thing to have. I don't actually have any player's handbooks for Pathfinder, if they even exist, or any rule books for any of them. I know the rules of Pathfinder, but that's because the site D20 exists. Okay, why is this taking so long? What am I not cleaning that I should be? The Macho Echidna. Uganda Randy Savage Knuckles. Ooh, that was a mouthful. Thank you so much for 420. Favorite type of Pokemon? Shout out to my bug bros. Favorite type? I don't know if I have a favorite type because I haven't played Pokemon since I was a kid. My favorite Pokemon is a tie between Eevee and Vulpix. But I don't know if I have a favorite type. Okay, why is this not clean? There we go. That one cleaned super easy. As someone who likes when superheroes are just good people, have you watched My Hero Academia? No, I haven't watched much anime. Like, to give you guys an idea, the finale, the end of Naruto was happening, and I was trying to watch the end of Naruto Shippuden, and I was trying to get to the end of Naruto Shippuden. It was in the middle of the Great Ninja War. Naruto had just been quote unquote killed. Sakura was trying to revive him by physically pumping his heart. That's what's happening. And they kept going on filler after filler. That's when I stopped watching anime. It was at that point. So I've never seen like any modern anime past that. Fallout New Vegas is a great game and has the option to let you flirt with a light switch in your own brain. Yeah, I'm replaying Fallout New Vegas right now. That's a game that I never stopped playing. I love playing Fallout New Vegas. I mean, I play it the same way every single time, but I just never get tired of playing it. Right now, I'm a little annoyed because I need a detonator, and the two guaranteed, there are 3 guaranteed spawns of detonators, and I don't want to go to 2 of them yet. Ranger Morales, I don't want to go to him yet, and I don't want to go to the Lucky 38 yet. So I have to go to the 3rd one, which is in Vault 34. The original Naruto was 50% filler. Yes, it was. But the reason why like this one really got to me was because they were in the middle of doing something. Like Naruto ended, and then it just kept going with filler. This Naruto was in the middle of, this is what happened. They were in the middle of the Great Ninja War. They posted a filler, and I got through it. And then I was like, okay, I got through that. Now let's get back to some action. They go back to the war for like 5 minutes in an episode and then jump to a different filler. I was like, oh no, I'm done. And it was just one anime that was, at the time, that was getting on my nerves. L Whale, thank you so much for the 249. I'm not sure what currency that is. Advice for creators: how do you deal when a video underperforms and you're worried it might be a continuous downward slide in views? So that is a continuous thing. First of all, when a video underperforms, you have to realize that might just be a one-time thing. You should note it, but you shouldn't necessarily let it determine. Even if it's a new type of video, you should still try and do it, I would say at least 3 times before determining, okay, this is not working. And if you're worried for any reason that it might be a continuous downward slide in views, either a safe thing to do is to go back to doing things you know that work, and a less safe thing to do is to try something else different, but not that. It's very tricky because I've seen channels lose their audience for not changing enough, and I've seen channels lose their audience for changing too much. So, you know, there's a very precarious balance you have to do. And I don't, unless you get like super big and consistently popular, I don't know if that fear ever goes away. Like, I have seen some channels that are consistently popular. Like, no matter what they do, the views just don't seem to go down. Like, I've never seen like Markiplier have like a bad view time. Of course, that's absurdly high. Johnny Two Cellos, I've never seen him really have like a bad time. Maybe he has and I just haven't noticed it. But I've never seen his numbers do like super bad. But yeah, for me, it's just a continuous thing because when I post, my numbers tend to do good, but sometimes I do something that makes them slip, and then I'm constantly wondering like, oh, did I mess up too far? Like when I take a vacation, my numbers always like suffer when I come back, and I'm like, oh, was I gone for too long, or have they just lost interest in me because that's how the internet works? So far, it hasn't been like to my detriment. I'm still working full time on YouTube, but I don't know if there's like a foolproof way to get rid of it. Have you ever seen a show so funny you literally fell out of your chair? When I was a kid, my sense of humor was so immense. Me and my brothers constantly lost it when we saw something funny. The one that comes to mind is Billy and Mandy. Billy and Mandy used to floor me. Like, literally floor me. Shady sitting on his golden throne on a tower of money. Video underperforming? Can't relate. That's a poor peasant problem. I mean, my vote video didn't really do too well. That video got demonetized. that vote video, because the music I used, the source I got it from said it wasn't copyrighted, so I just believed them. But they said it wasn't their music, but it wasn't copyrighted, so I just believed them. And then the video that I made got copyright struck. But I wasn't willing to fight it because I was like, I didn't do my due diligence. I don't know if the music is actually copyright free. Also, that video, like, I made really quickly. I did not put a lot of work into that video. But yeah, that video underperformed. And my expectations for videos are probably higher than like the average person. Because, like, to me, if a video doesn't do 100K in a week, I start raising an eyebrow. So I'm like, my videos normally do that. What's going on? Even though for a channel of my size, doing less than that is still pretty good. Especially if it eventually still hits 100K after a month. Is Shady Scrooge McDuck? No, I don't think I'm nearly as cheap as Scrooge McDuck. I don't consider myself a frivolous spender, but I think Scrooge is way too cheap. Like, Scrooge reuses tea bags until they've got absolutely no flavor left. Why is this not working? This basin doesn't want to get clean. There's something on this base. There's dirt somewhere on this basin. I don't know. I've sprayed the whole thing several times. And I can't get up against the wall. Oh, there it is. Billy and Mandy review win. Probably never, because it's a comedy-focused show, and I have a hard time writing scripts for those. Wall. Okay. This is almost done. I'm shocked we got this done. I didn't expect to get this done. But they gave me my full equipment, and this is one of the earlier levels, so. All right, we need to look for things that right there. Shady, I live in Germany. Do I still have to come to America and to vote? So many people said that, like, oh, I'm not American, so I'm not sure what to do. I'm like, did y'all not hear the very first thing I said at the beginning of the video? This is a video for my American viewers. That was the first thing I said in that video. I'm glad I found someone with similar taste. Thank you, Shady, for existing. You're welcome. I will try to make sure I keep doing that. Hey, Shady, I know you mentioned not watching any DC shows after the DCAU, but did you ever go back and watch the Batman? I plan on watching that. A lot of people have requested reviews of it, but it's way down the list of shows I need to watch. I'm starting to think I shouldn't watch these shows in order. I should jump between them. Because it'll be better for diversity on the channel if I'm jumping between shows. But Batman, Superman, and Batman Beyond, I kind of want to watch in order because they are of the same universe and they happen in a specific order. Although didn't Superman premiere during the same time as Batman? So I probably could switch in between those two. Oh, I'm cleaning the wrong thing. It specifically says tiled floor. There we go. No, there's no billion episode of The Shady Show. I loved the Grim Adventures as a kid, along with Courage the Cowardly Dog. But can we see some Courage? Courage is a possibility, because Courage has more you can talk about. It doesn't just talk about... It's not just comedy. But like Billy and Manny is just straight up comedy. I would probably have to like go and watch YouTubers who talk about comedic shows more and study their videos, because my videos almost always have a point. Like, oh, this is a lesson that happens, or oh, this is talking about a specific character. You know, Billy and Mandy is a nonsensical show. Even when it talks about characters, it's doing it nonsensically. And I don't, you know, there's only so many ways I can say this joke is funny and still be creative. That's done. Cubicle wall's done. Sister. Ed and Nenny was my jam. Ed and Nenny was one of my favorite Cartoon Network shows of all time, and it's another one a lot of people get request a lot for. I'm like, I don't know what I would say because it's so comedy focused. Orange. The one word that rhymes with orange. I saw something else over here. Where'd it go? Washroom wall. Oh. This pipe is dirty, apparently. Okay. When's the next Daria video? Relatively soon. I do have that one on my list of reviews I'll be doing pretty soon. I would like to do, after the Boomhauer video, I would like to do something slightly different. There are a couple of like experimental ideas I have, and I would like to do some of them. But after that video, or maybe even before that video, you can expect a Daria video relatively soon. Shady, you seen IS Mark's pilot catching up? No, so LS Mark is a channel YouTube keeps recommending me, and I keep like just ignoring the recommendations. Not sure why, because he talks about a lot of things that I would enjoy hearing about. And it's just a pride thing. How dare a YouTuber bigger than me make something? There we go. Jeez. This thing's been at 99% for a hot minute. Oh, something in there is very much not clean. Who do you consider to be the most evil character in Breaking Bad? The most evil? Probably... I can't remember his name, but the dude who shot the kid, him and his uncle, because they just do not care. They have no empathy whatsoever. Like, I consider Walter to be a pretty evil guy, but he feels empathy for children at the very least. Like, you cannot get me to believe that Walt would attack a child. He would definitely, since the child was already dead, he disintegrated him, but you could not convince me he would attack one. Shady, why are you using the yellow nozzle when we all know that the green nozzle is the intellectual choice? I see what you did there. The thing is, I don't know if you actually know this, but there is a certain personality test out there that says, and it lumps people into 4 different categories, and green is the category of people who are very left-brained. They're very logic-prone. So that's what I thought the joke you were making was, and I was like, wait a second, whoever said that might not even know that that exists. And that's why it's really funny to me in Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared when they say green is not a creative color, because it's like, it's funny on multiple levels if you know that that exists, that green is supposed to be the color of logic. This light. To answer the question, I use yellow because it has the best pressure. Green has a little bit less pressure. So if I'm close to it, it's still fine, but I have to go back. I have to get closer to it than I want to for it to remain fine. Geez, this 99% thing has been here for a hot minute. I've cleaned a lot of things and it's still been at 99%. There's something like conduit. Okay. Still at 99%. All this stuff seems clean. Anything in here? For those of you who never played this game, I am looking at the top left of the screen. It tells you when something needs to be clean. If that bar has white in it, it means the thing I'm looking at is not clean fully. There is a list I can look at, but I don't like resorting to the list. I feel like the list is kind of cheaty. But I'm not seeing anything. I'll be honest, this game would drive me nuts as someone who hates leaving a job half undone. Well, the whole point of the game is to finish the job. Like, you can leave, but nobody ever does. I've never seen a playthrough of this where somebody leaves a job not finished. Well, you can leave and then come back, but I mean, like, in-game, you're allowed to say, well, the job is complete. This pipe. But I could, like, just exit and then come back and finish this later. Exit the game and then come back and finish this level later if I wanted to. This toilet's not clean. How did I miss that? By the way, we love you, Shady. Prove it. That's the quote from Steven Universe. Love takes time. Love takes effort. You at the very least need to get to know the person. That's a spoiler for the next video. Okay, so both of those are clean. I'm still at 99%. Right, thought I saw something. Ah, there was something. This one. I thought for sure I cleaned that. IRL people would leave and expect their paychecks. Yeah, tis true. So, the light switch. I somehow missed this. Still, I'm waiting for a list to pop up that says, hey, you are almost done. You just have to clean these 3 things. But man, I missed a lot of little stuff. You know, Shady, maybe you could cover some G.I. Joe, a real American hero. People say cartoons only started getting good around the 90s, but you gotta look. I watch Joe's and it rocks. Well, the reason people say that is because it's not that there aren't any good shows from older times. It's that it was profitable to make trash before the 90s because a lot of cartoons were just used as toy commercials. Hanna-Barbera specifically did a lot with that. But in the 90s, like they started quality and effort started to become like the mainstream when it came to cartoons with Nickelodeon and Cartoon Network. So that's why a lot of people say that. Door frame. Wasn't what I was trying to clean, but I'll take it. Do I have to clean this side too? Thank you. There it is. Hey, Shady, have you thought about covering Moral Oro? We talked about this earlier today. Moral Oro is probably a show I will never cover just because it has uncomfortable topics I don't like talking about. Crimson Phantom, thank you very much for the $10. Just want to thank you. It's because of your videos I realize I miss heroes doing good because it's the right thing to do. I appreciate that. Yeah. That I realized that with Man of Steel. Like Man of Steel really, I was so mad at Man of Steel when I saw the Superman when he throws the guy's truck onto a bunch of pikes and just destroys it. I'm like, even if Superman wanted to stop that guy from being a jerk, he would not have done it like that. And I hate that they think this is just okay. Like there's no repercussions. And then they drastically changed the Kents in that movie. Man, that just ticked me off. And that has kind of stuck with me since that movie. So 2 door hinges, 1 light, and 1 light switch. Shady, do you know Megas XLR? Yes, that is a show I will probably be looking into. I don't have plans to look into it anytime soon, but a lot of people have requested I do something with that. I need light. How about you? I need 1 light and 1 light switch. So let's look at all these lights. Let's do the lights first just to get them out of the way. There we go. There it is. I've rewatched your Patriot Act episode like 26 times. Thank you. I honestly think the Patriot Act video is my best video to date. Genuinely speaking. Like, I know the John Redcorn video is the one I'm most famous for, and a lot of people really like the Flash one. But I think the Patriot Act one... Oh, you can... There's a run button in this game? I did not know that. But I genuinely think the Patriot Act one is one of my best that I've ever made. All right, light switch. You? This one. Here it is. Found it. From the episodes you have watched so far, who is your favorite film or character? That's Ingrid, easily. All right, job complete. I can't really jump. Gonna try to jump and go. Look at that. And donezo. Whew. Okay. you here. Have you played the Batman or Injustice games? I did play the first Injustice game. I started playing the first Arkham game, but I never finished it because I got stuck on the riddles, and I refused to move on until I solved the riddles, and I just never beat it. Will Shady looks like your most popular video is the John Redcorn one. Yeah, it's been that way since the John Redcorn video. Like, that video blew up and not a video has passed it ever since. I'm waiting for the Flash video to pass it, but still hasn't done it. And people say you are sexist when you like female characters the most in cartoons. Yes, they do. I mean, that's pretty typical. People claiming somebody is an ist or a phobe or whatever, whenever they disagree with them. All right, peeps. I'm going to call it a stream there. I can feel my throat getting tired, which I kind of needed to rest. That was the whole reason the Boomhauer video didn't get done. But I've been talking. We've been streaming for about 2 hours, so it makes sense. Also, I want to go eat because I'm hungry and my fast ends in 10 minutes. So. Thank you guys so much for watching, for being here, asking questions, and the donations. Really appreciate it. The Boomhauer video should be up next week. I don't see anything getting in my way between here and now. And then hopefully I'll continue a stream of videos. I got a lot of video ideas in my head. Like, just, this, as always, the script writing process just takes forever. But again, I'll see you guys in the next one. Had a lot of fun. Take care. This has been Shady Doorags. So long. Farewell. Auf Wiedersehen. Goodbye. There's supposed to be music playing right now, but oh, there it is.